Soft pink clouds paint the early morning sky as gentle snowflakes drift over the frosty bay. A small penguin Pip awakens with a shiver, the cold seeping into his tiny frame. Pip's small size is apparent compared to the other penguins huddled nearby. He attempts to waddle forward, his movements awkward against the icy ground. The falling snow adds a layer of delicate beauty to Pip's struggle. A close-up reveals Pip's determined expression despite the harsh morning. In the biting cold of Frosty Bay, Pip hops, a lonely figure trying to escape the cold's sharp teeth. His eyes dart across the endless white, seeking warmth, seeking something. A splash of colour pierces the monochrome. A bright blue object with yellow dots. Hope flickers in Pip's eyes as he moves toward the unknown object, his heart pounding. The vibrant colours stand out against the snow, promising a mystery. A story in the stark landscape. A frosty bay stretches into the distance, the air biting and cold. Pip waddles forward on the icy ground, his tiny form a silhouette against the pale sky. He pokes at something with his beak, curiosity etched into his small features. It's a long striped sock, discarded and lonely against the vast expanse of ice. Pip's eyes widen with delight, his heart pounding with excitement. A treasure! A magical treasure! He exclaims, his voice filled with childlike wonder. On the frosty bay, Pip struggles with the oversized sock, its warmth a stark contrast to the icy air. A childish declaration rings out, filled with wonder and warmth. This isn't just a sock. Pip's eyes widen with belief. This is a warmth magic sock. It must have fallen from a cloud wizard. He clutches the sock, his face alight with the thrill of magical discovery. A beacon against the cold. The ordinary sock transforms into an extraordinary artifact in Pip's imaginative grasp. On the snowy bank of Frosty Bay, Pip grins, a splash of colour against the white expanse. He proudly displays a brightly coloured sock, its quirky patterns a stark contrast to the icy landscape. Tilly the puffin cocks her head, her gaze sceptical as she eyes the sock. It's colourful and funny, but magical, Tilly asks, her doubt hanging in the frosty air. On the frosty bay, Pip gestures, his eagerness urging Tilly forward. Tilly hesitates, then dips her wing into the water. Ooh, it's warm, Tilly exclaims, surprised by the unexpected heat. Her face lights up with joy. It is magical. Pip beams, his excitement vindicated. Word spreads through Frosty Bay, drawing a motley crew of animals to Pip. Penguins waddle closer, their beaks agape with curiosity. Seals flock nearer, their whiskers twitching, intrigued by the commotion. Even a massive polar bear lumbers into view, drawn by the unusual gathering. At Frosty Bay, Sammy Seal emerges from the frigid water, droplets clinging to his sleek fur. Pale sunlight catches the shimmering water as Sammy shivers. Pip carefully wraps a thick wool sock around Sammy Seal's flippers. Sammy looks up at Pip, his dark eyes filled with gratitude. The wool sock provides a comforting warmth against the biting cold. Sammy Seal snuggles into the sock, content and protected from the icy chill. Under the crisp, frosty sky, Pip carefully places a colourful sock onto Nora Narwhal's horn. The whimsical sight of the sock transforms Nora's face, erupting in a burst of pure joyful giggles. Sunlight glints off the icy bay, highlighting the playful interaction between Pip and Nora. Nora's laughter echoes across the serene, frost-kissed landscape, a melody of simple delight. In the vast frosty expanse, Pip's tender gesture shields Benny the baby bear from the cold. A gentle touch, a world of care. Benny's tiny sneeze punctuates the serene quiet of the winter landscape. Nestled in the warmth of the sock, Benny finds solace and peace. Contentment radiates from the small bear as he snuggles deeper, safe from the icy air. A biting wind howls across the desolate, snow-covered expanse of Frosty Bay, its icy breath stinging any exposed skin. Swirling snowflakes dance in the air, creating a mesmerizing yet chilling ballet against the grey sky. Animals huddle together, seeking solace in shared warmth as their breath mists in the frigid air. Pip's voice cuts through the wind, a warm sentiment amidst the cold. Magic feels warmer when it's shared. The animals, a chorus of agreement, respond to Pip's sentiment. The collective warmth of companionship offers a small, defiant spark against the overwhelming cold of Frosty Bay. A terrible blizzard descends upon Frosty Bay, the landscape vanishing in a swirl of white. The wind howls with relentless fury, tearing through the night. Snow piles high, obscuring all landmarks. The bay is swallowed by the storm. Visibility drops to near zero. A frozen wasteland under a sky of swirling snow. Deep within the ice cave, animals huddle together, their breaths misting in the frigid air. They seek warmth, a desperate shield against the biting cold that permeates the cavern. But one figure stands apart, isolated in the icy expanse. Pip remains alone, a stark silhouette against the shimmering ice. Under the frosty night, Pip searches for seaweed blankets, his small body shivering against the biting cold. His beak trembles as he forages, a visible struggle against the encroaching cold. Each step is a reminder of the bitter cold as his feet feel stiff. He continues his search, driven by the desire to keep everyone warm despite his own discomfort. The storm rages across Frosty Bay, a blinding swirl of snow and howling wind. Small and exposed, Pip huddles behind a snow dune, his shivering frame a testament to the storm's brutal force. The biting wind penetrates his thin clothes, chilling him to the very core. His voice barely audible above the storm, Pip whispers a wish. "I wish the magic sock could warm everyone, including me," he finishes, his breath misting in the frigid air. An ice cave glows ethereally, the frigid air alive with Tilly's misting breath as she surveys the frozen expanse. A creeping dread washes over Tilly as she realizes Pip is nowhere in sight. Her voice cracks, echoing in the ice cave, fraught with rising panic. "He's still outside," she cries out, her words hanging in the frozen air, a desperate plea against the biting cold. A blizzard's icy grip tightens on Frosty Bay. The wind howls. Animals huddle, seeking warmth against the storm's relentless assault. Their breaths mist in the frigid air, a testament to life's persistence. Driven by purpose, they bravely face the storm's teeth. A determined march begins, united by a single name. Pip. In the Frosty Bay, Snow blankets the scene, untouched and pristine. Sammy Seal, a dark silhouette against the white, approaches a snowdrift. With powerful thrusts, Sammy's flippers smash through the frozen barrier. A spray of ice crystals glistens in the cold air as Sammy breaches the drift. The frosty bay stretches into the horizon, a chilling expanse under a twilight sky. Nora Narwhal emerges as a beacon, her lantern shell casting a warm, inviting glow. The light from Nora's shell dances on the water, guiding their path through the icy expanse. The group follows closely, trusting in Nora's light to lead them safely through the frosty bay. The scene is a serene contrast of warmth and cold, hope illuminating a potentially perilous journey. Benny Bear sniffs the frosty air, his nose twitching, catching a faint, promising scent on the icy breeze. Through the thick snow, Benny follows the faint trail, his paws sinking slightly with each determined step. The landscape stretches before him, a vast expanse of white under a cold grey sky. He spots Pip, a small, huddled form, curled up in a ball, half covered in the snow's embrace. Pip shivers slightly, a fragile figure against the harsh, unforgiving backdrop of the winter bay. Benny quickens his pace, his heart pounding with concern as he approaches his vulnerable friend. At the frosty bay, a flurry of movement as figures converge, urgency etched on their faces against the icy backdrop. They huddle around Pip, their hands moving swiftly to enfold him. A warmth magic sock becomes a beacon of hope against the biting cold, its presence a promise of comfort. The sock wraps around Pip, a barrier against the frost, a silent plea for warmth in the desolate expanse. The group huddles close on the frosty bay, their breath misting in the frigid air. A shared glance, a silent understanding passes among them, warming the frozen landscape. The bonds of friendship offer a deeper warmth than any fire could provide. A comforting, profound connection spreads through the group, deeper than blankets. The frosty bay bites with cold as Pip opens his eyes, a harsh awakening in the frigid air. A faint mist hovers over the icy water, obscuring the horizon and adding to the desolate scene. His breath mists in the air as he struggles to speak, his voice hoarse and weak. "You came for me," Pip whispers, his words barely audible against the backdrop of the desolate bay. The wind whispers across the icy expanse of frosty bay, where snow glistens under the pale sunlight. The frozen landscape stretches out, a silent witness to the heartfelt exchange. Benny speaks, his voice echoing in the cold air. "Of course we did. You shared warmth with everyone. Now we're sharing warmth with you," Benny adds, the words a gentle promise against the stark backdrop. The storm's fury subsides, unveiling frosty bay in gentle light. A serene silence blankets the icy expanse. Animals gather, their eyes reflecting a shared hope as the clouds gracefully part. Together, they hoist a vibrant, colourful sock, a beacon against the fading storm. The sock sways gently, a symbol of unity and warmth amidst the icy bay. Pip's voice rings out, a quiet revelation. The magic was never in the sock, the magic was in sharing.